first item, I want to review some potential changes to the 2012 budget that we've discussed so far. Okay. The first one has to deal with workman's comp. George, I wonder if you could share what happened on that one.
Okay. Let me get my...
By the way, George done a nice job on this, trying to squeeze that nickel as fast as you can get it.
So what's happening with workers' comp is there's a lot of insurance companies that don't write workers' comp. Very few do. So what we did this year is we changed brokers as we did last year as well, and we were able to get 3 quotes this year. The potential for 3 quotes. Anyway, we wound up last year paying $146,290 was our total premium. This year, we started out and we got $155,988, and that was a total of 6.6% increase, and we went into negotiations. Got that down to $150,000 even, and that would be a 2.53% increase. So when all is said and done, I mean, no one likes to see them go up, but with the way things are going on with workers' comp, I think it's about the best we could do.
Good, thank you very much. Basically what it was, we met with our broker and said, sharpen your pencil, this is just not good enough. In light of our good performance, which we do have good performance on safety, 6.6 was just outlandish, and so I would like to thank George personally for all his work, set the meetings up, for helping us beat up on these guys, and make them believers that we don't have an extra whole lot of money. So the next one to go then will be the hospitalization and medical insurance, which is scheduled to go up 14.3%. And George, we could talk a little bit about that one.
Yes. Again, we met with representatives from Marshall and Sterling. I believe the gentleman's name was George Salem, and he has presented to us the potential for significant savings in the medical insurance. There's a whole, I actually did not bring my booklet.
That's okay, I just conceptually.
Right. Essentially, we are effectively with the night shift program now. That's the New York State health insurance program, Empire Plan through United Healthcare. Great program, but you know, it's an expensive program. So there are alternatives out there, and some of the alternatives actually can give more benefit back to the employees. So what we're attempting to do now is to address that issue with the employees, with the CSEA, police, and the other things to represent this as an alternative. We're not going to just, you know, kill or snip off the night shift program. This will be used as an alternative to the night shift program. So we'll see what happens as we have these meetings and as we get more information, share it with the board members.
Good. Thank you, George. There's also one other, understand that supposedly the mayor of Port Jervis negotiated a much lower rate of improvement or increase from where they started. And so I thought maybe George and I could get with him and say, well, what'd you do? You know? And but each plan is different. Some are richer than others, and locations where the doctors are and the hospitals are, et cetera, et cetera. So, but anyway, we're continuing to work on hospitalization and medical insurance because that's one of the more expensive. The second part of the item is discuss the clarification of the 2% tax levy cap. And we weren't quite, well, we thought we were sure. It is 2% cap on the tax levy overall. It doesn't break into your funds or it doesn't differentiate it. So our total tax increase, they would like us to keep within a 2% range. And because we were going down and digesting every different kind of way of looking at this budget. And so before we spent a lot of time on that, we thought we'd go back and get clarification on that. The next item is a reminder, it's time again to review the town ordinances, zoning, and coding. And Dennis, you kind of lead us through a little bit on this.
Yeah, as the board's aware, based upon, for instance, the last two zoning change requests we had, which I think you have commented tonight in your folder, it's indicative of the fact that you've got to examine these things periodically. It's been about 3 years since you embarked upon, or close to 3 years since you embarked upon the most rezoning changes and amendments to your code. And in connection with the two zoning change amendments, which you're going to have to seeker, by the way, you're going to engage in that yet, it may be a good time to have your planning department and or Neil, and again, your paid staff people, if you take a look at it and bring to your attention any other areas of modification while we're doing these two things. Even the zone changes, if you follow, if you're going to pass a local law to affect the zone change, it's going to affect your master plan.
Sure.
Right? So it's not complicated. It's a good wake-up call to periodically you should review. And the best people, unless there's a board member on some particular issue we want to address, go to your on-staff people, your planning boards, your building inspector, et cetera, who are dealing with this on a daily basis, as to what, if anything, needs to be upgraded, modified, attended to, amended, and or loose ends tied down.
I think that in addition to the perhaps working out our industrial space and commercial space, which we're using up, we've been developing this land. Another one that I've heard in the last couple of months in here is signs.
Yeah.
And we need to look at signs again.
And plus, not any particular issue, but I'm sure the board's aware, because I'm contacting your departments almost daily. We get a lot of what I call unique requests by people who are looking to do things in various areas of the town, zoning or otherwise. And predominantly the great preponderance is favorable, but other times you get applicants or potential uses which what I call fall through the cracks. And they may or may not be attractive, if you will, to the community for whatever reason. And it's the type of thing that the boards, again, have a pulse on that, and they can keep you abreast. And by law, well, I shouldn't say by law, but by design and philosophy, it's part of the preamble to both the master plan and our code. It's almost mandated that every 3 years it should be looked at.
Right. Sure. That's right. We did it in 2004, started looking in 2007, we passed it in 2008, second update. Thank you. The next item is the discuss the current status of the defibrillator purchase and the implementation plan. George, you want to talk to that?
Yeah, Jen Hart and myself worked on that. We narrowed it down, tried to do the most cost-effective way that we could. Put in the purchase order last week, and Barbara called me, I think it was Friday of last week, and the defibrillators are upstairs now, so they're going to be installed. I'm going to get with the rod, I guess, and install the ones at the town, one at the town hall and one out of the DPW garage. So they're really very simple to use, but again, we have to do some instruction with the people so that they don't freeze when, if and when, God forbid, this event takes place.
Thank you. So I would like to say that Robert Knoll and his wife donated these to the town, and following a friend of theirs who died. Consequence of not having a defibrillator nearby where they need it. So,
who will do the training? In-house, or does it come from the defibrillator people, or you guys?
Well, I think what I'm tentatively going through that in my mind right now, but I know about 4 CPR instructors. So I think what I'm going to do is probably get a hold of one of them and have them do the instruction, because it's kind of important, I think, to do it with somebody who's certified.
Right. I want to be in on it. No, I mean, I understand it. Probably everyone that's in this building or whatever should have access to it. That would be good.
Right. Okay.
Right.
I hope you're here when somebody needs it, because I'm a wimp. I don't want...
You may be the needy one.
Oh, you need it.
You better learn to do it to yourself. Put those babies on your chest.
Go for it.
Pull the trigger.
You'll never have to go home at that moment, you know?
Still don't pull the trigger. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, the next one is, just wanted to run by the board. We have a request of the Highway Department to clean up the brush that was associated with the Hurricane Irene out in Hamiltonian Park. And it was to Mr. Knoll. Okay. And Mr. Knoll wrote, I thought, a very reasonable letter back saying, well, you know, here's some of the things he had in his letter. It's been I apologize that the brush has not been already picked up and cleared. Since it surely seems like a long time that has transpired since Hurricane Irene. I can only ask for your patience as the Highway Department has been inundated this year due to weather. Between a very wet summer, a tornado, a hurricane, and a tropical storm, much damage to the roads has been done after Irene. We find ourselves very behind this year. We are racing the upcoming cold weather. What that means is the asphalt plants are going to close. And either we get the asphalt down, or if it's too cold and they close, we don't get it down. So we're racing the upcoming colder weather with necessary damage of repairs. And completing the most necessary portions of our paving. Well, anyway, the people who sent the letter, the person who sent the letter, said, listen, I understand all that, appreciate all that, but you know, we got Halloween coming up and this and that, and please, us and the board and the police chief, let us know your plan. And I'm bringing this board because I think Broderick needs some clarification. I don't know if I think maybe the first thing we need is go out and ride and look at Hamiltonian Park, but I'm sure there are leaves and everything else out of the road by now, and that's normal this time of year. But I don't know about the brush. I haven't seen it. Has anybody been out there to look at this and see what kind of condition it's in?
I have.
And what do you see?
Go ahead. You guys are the same, but I did go through it many times, but what I see is maybe one out of every 6 or 7 houses that have brush. Some streets don't have it. I do see it on the streets, which is not supposed to be on the street. It's code. That's what I say. There is some brush out there from the storms. Not a lot. But here and there, some are very small piles, very small, but it should be picked up. But I understand Broderick's problem right now. He's working against time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Lou on that one. The biggest debris problem is from the couple of settlers to the left. It's out of the stuff out of their basement they put up on the street, and they push it on over to the side of their property. Otherwise, like Lou, I mean, there's always debris and dirt, tree limbs down throughout Hamiltonian Arcadia, all properties, those areas. So I'm supporting Mr. Knoll on this one. When he gets to it, he gets to it. I don't see a house hazard or any danger to the community, but when he gets to it, he gets to it. I give him the right answer.
Right. Any other comments from anybody?
Well, I have a lot of brush and so on and so forth, and right now I pile it behind my house until the time comes when they're able to pick it up and all the other things are. So,
Right.
I mean, you have to, I understand people's plight,
Right.
but you have to be cooperative. I mean, Broderick is trying to keep the roads open for the schools and the safety issues. These are, they could be safety issues, but people can handle it, they can handle their own until the time is right. So we'll just ask for everyone's cooperation and help on this, that's all.
Or maybe when he goes to pick up all the leaves and stuff, which he does
Exactly.
periodically, maybe that'd be the time to pick up.
He is gonna do it.
Well, that's
I know, I'm
right.
saying,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so until then,
The couple should
if they
understand that.
have branches or stuff like that, they can put it in their backyards until
Right.
they're ready to bring it out. They don't
Right.
just pile it on the street. That creates the hazard, really.
Oh, sure.
If they're concerned about the children and everything, then they should get it out of harm's way themselves, each homeowner.
Right.
And then when we can pick them up, we'll assist them,
Right.
you know?
Well, this is one of these things, and we're gonna see more of this going forward.
Yeah.
As we get into this budget, and we have fewer people, and we have fewer pieces of equipment, it's gonna take a longer response time, and the public's gonna need, as I said back a month or two ago, no one's gonna be happy with this 2% cap. The employees aren't gonna be happy, and the citizens aren't gonna be happy. That's the world in which we live. It is not like we've been before. Now, I did think of one thing that crossed my mind, and that is this. If we don't have time to pick all this stuff up, and evidently we're not going to, is to go out there with our big front-end loader, Lou, and we just drop it down the street, you see it in the street, shove it over in the person's front yard, and pick it up when it's, you know.
Well, that's what I mean, they could do it themselves, you know?
Oh, I understand. But I mean,
It's their
if-
responsibility.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm just saying that was something that crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna get sued for going on personal property?
No, just push the, you know.
Can we bring it to your house?
What?
Your house?
You think you'll bring it to mine?
Well, anyway, I got the answer I needed, and we passed it on to
So
Broderick.
you're not running a landfill in the village, are you?
Just do the best you can to get to it, fine. If you can't, then
What you do?
it is what it is. Yes?
Where's the other response one that we have? Do we have another one?
I didn't put that in.
Okay.
Right.
Actually, I thought that was the one that was in front of me.
No.
Okay.
And I think that's a very good response. What you wrote.
Yeah.
Go for it, you know.
I said, they're throwing it on my table.
Okay, the next one, you know, we do
I just
not,
want to update you real quick. He is paving Ridge Estates right now, and we're fighting against, there's going to be bad weather again this
Yeah.
week.
right,
So, and that's been all reclaimed. Since it's been reclaimed, the driveways and what has been reclaimed is like this far off. We went out there, we brought 2x6s so they wouldn't have a big bump to go up. So we
Driveway.
have to get this paved.
Yeah.
sure.
What's he saying tomorrow? Tell me how you are.
I don't, you know.
No, I mean, I think that's the point that Broderick was saying. He's got roads torn apart. I mean, he's done a lot of work this year. But between the wet weather and all the inclement weather, I mean, the hurricanes, et cetera, it doesn't take long to get weeks behind, and you just gotta, and when you've got these big reclaiming machines and you gotta haul asphalt, you gotta haul it. And that's where we're at.
By the way, we had some outside help today. And just so you know, I want him to get it done, because maybe if he doesn't get it done this year, that money will be taken away from him, he won't be able to do it next year.
Could be.
That's why I told him, get it done.
The next item
That's like a
is,
message, good, huh?
the next item is, we have a request to appoint Lee Burgess, who's a member of the planning board, to make him deputy planning board chairman. I got a note from the building inspector who's at all these meetings, that everybody on the planning board agrees with this. Lee has been asked to do it, he's up for it. And so everybody's had their input. And the reason for this is, truly, if the chairman is gone for any reason, okay, and we need to sign maps during the course of the day, and if he's not here, everything stops and you have to wait. And Lee works over in the county, he can be over here in 10 minutes, look at it and sign it. Where the chairman works in New York or where he's going to be working. So we need some backup right here in the town of Goshen. So
Do you need a motion on that?
I need a motion on that.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Burgess as deputy chairman of the planning board.
Second?
Effective immediately.
If I may, towards a second, just so you're aware, the chairman's also aware. Huddleston, as you know, unfortunately lost his wife.
Yeah.
And he has been to and fro state of Kentucky for various personal and family reasons. And he even advocates that you have a deputy, for
Yeah.
obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware, it's unanimous approval agreement.
Right. But even when, before that, there have been times when Ralph could be an expert witness in some part of New Jersey or something, and someone comes in for a signing a document, and there's nobody here. We can go get leave. Okay, George, pardon?
Immediately.
Effective immediately. Okay. Phil made the motion, George seconded. Any discussion?
You need a roll call on that then?
Not necessarily, you can have one more, just by voice.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, good.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything for the work session? Okay. Well, would someone like to make a motion, then we go on?
Maybe you want to take what you
Well, no, that's what's that. What you got, Jim?
I have a question about the last town board meeting. You referred that Kerr's zone change to the planning board?
The planning board and the ERB.
And we attended the planning board meeting,
Okay.
which the planning board referred it back to the town board.
Well, it'll come back to us. We have to make the decision.
Okay, so that hasn't been made yet.
No. They will come back to us. In fact, we will probably do that. We could do it as much as early as Thursday night. Because I got late this afternoon, a letter from the attorney for the planning board saying this and thus and such. But I think, Dennis, you're saying this one has to go for a secret review.
Yeah, they all do. This one is, it affects property larger than 25 acres. So under the secret regulations, it's a type 1, which means you're going to have to look at it and determine whether, or should you wish any environmental studies.
And do we keep the public hearing open during that time?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I've seen the correspondence from the planning board.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, on each zoning change. And I figured that by Thursday, I'll make the rounds with the planning department and Neil and determine, recommendation-wise as to what you should or should be interested in possibly doing in terms of secret review.
I don't think they're going to have much of a problem with it. The planning board, we see that's the wrong one. Read it. At the meeting of the October 20th, 2011, the planning board reviewed the Kerr zoning change request referred to by the town board for comment and authorized our office to convey its comments on the application. The Kerr application noted that the purpose of providing zone change was to use the property for a composting facility. The planning board noted the composting facility is not permitted in the RU district under Code 97-58, unless it is located on a farm operation, but would be permitted in the industrial district. Given this configuration of the lot, the planning board had concerns with the access to the site for truck traffic, but recognized that those concerns would be addressed during the site plan review process. So it would be up in that corner. Okay. That should not be a problem. The planning board could not identify any determinant or detriment to the town if the requested zone change was granted, but did see a benefit to the applicant. Additionally, the planning board commented that the permitted uses in the R zone district do not really seem appropriate for this property, which is what we're changing. So, anyway, signed Richard Golden. So, they don't have a problem with it. We've got to go to the ERB to get their response, and then we'll have the secret review, and then we'll close the public hearing and move on. So it's moving along well, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if ERB even wants to comment.
Well, they may not.
Just so you're aware. So,
Right.
yeah, your next stage will be.
Planning board has already done, ERP advises the planning board.
That's
The
correct.
planning board has already made the decision. Based on their information.
So it'll come back here, and then, again, what you're going to have to do is
Right.
secret,
Right.
get a local law proposal and a public hearing on a local law.
Right.
Do you have
We have to do what?
local law?
Yeah, on the zone change, absolutely.
Because it's 26 acres.
No, because it's a zone change.
Oh, I see.
It's been
Okay.
very strict, and that's why, the power is always reposes with your board in terms of zoning and otherwise.
Can you do an overlay or a spot zone?
I would recommend it, but yeah,
I know
yeah.
we don't do it, but in this particular case, it's unique, and they're coming to the board
Right.
without going to changing the law. Can you look at?
Well, one, we're looking to see how expeditious we can be.
Yeah.
And I don't think
As you know, your public
board-
hearing has been held.
Yes.
We're just holding it open, if you will.
Right.
All you've got to do left is the...
Secret review. Right. So, anyway,
If I may-
it's on the track.
I assume the applicant submitted the short form EAF. I don't have a copy of the file with me. You remember, environmental assessment form?
I think Jim Dillon prepared that.
I think it came up, and I just wanted the file.
I think he did.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think he did.
Yeah, we could probably address it informationally, move it along come Thursday night.
I think Thursday night we'll get it back on.
Okay, now one more quick question. When you
Thank you.
remove,
Yeah.
when you remove that brush and so forth from Hamiltonian and the towns and so forth, what do you do with it? Where does it go?
Here's the,
Phil's backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, the brush.
You just shut the door.
The brush goes to an area out there where they make it in compost.
Highway environmental, something or other.
So it could go to Hartley Road.
Sure. Yeah.
They
Save some gasoline.
We have a wood chipper. We chip it up.
Yeah.
What do you do with the chips?
Oh, jeez.
Jimmy, come
I
on.
told you to make it.
Seriously, don't you have to get rid of that stuff?
Why, would you like some in your backyard? No, I understand, but very good question, but I think another option would be to certainly,
Trying to save some money.
Well, we used to bring it out to the highway garage, and then DC says
Yeah.
you can't keep mulch, so that's why we have to take it off site.
right.
Remember for years it was stacked out there, people come and take the mulch, but
So that goes out to Pulaski?
I think it's Pulaski.
Yes, they've got a composting company.
They have some environmental.
We have a deal for you.
And they make, they also make compost.
I get it.
Let's talk.
Okay. Anybody else got anything for the meeting? All right, would someone like to make a motion that we go, I'll make a motion, we go into executive session to discuss development of a sewer intermunicipal agreement with the village. We discuss the current status of the CSEA negotiation. We discuss the current status of a request for negotiations with the PBA. We discuss the status of the abandoned railroad bed. Take that one off, he didn't get back with me. And then lastly, update the current status of the tax surcharge.
A second.
All in favor say aye. Motion carries. Folks, thank you very much. And for those football players or watchers or whatever, like it home from time to time.
Who's on tonight, Joe?
Baltimore, Jaguars. Baltimore's on the road.
That'd be a tough one to watch.
Same like last time.
Point favorite.
Like every day.
Take care, folks. Thank you very much.